Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So today we will be learning how we can change the specific field properties or what are the form settings and how we can change that. So let's get right back into the video. In the previous videos we have learned how we can create forms and what questions we get asked as a freelancer. So make sure to check out those videos. So let's see how we can change the properties of the fields. So like here we have added a field name and date, and then we can add multiple different fields as the questions. And what if we need to change the properties of these fields, like if we want to adjust the height and width and we want to add something extra, then all you have to do is there are two buttons you can see. One is remove. If you click on remove, this field will get deleted from your form. The second option is properties. If you click on that, this menu will open and you will see three tabs here. First is general properties, which are almost similar, like you can add question text, you can add description, or you can make this field required, etc. And you must know that as we have learned, there are two layouts in Jotform. One is card form and the other is classic form layout. So these properties can differ in both layouts. Like some options are available in only classic form layout and not in card form, and some options are only available in card form layouts but not in classic form. So currently we are working on card form layout. What is card form layout? It is in this form we have one question at a time. So as you can see in general there are question text. You can change that. Right now it is name. Let's say we want to write full name or your full name. If you want to add a description about that, you can add that too. Like please enter your full name, and you will see your description will appear right under your question label. The next is label alignment. We can align our label on the left side, we can align our label on the right side, or we can align our label in the center of the form. So whatever suits your need best, we need to do that. The next option is required. Required means the user must have to fill this field before submitting the form. So if is anything that you want your user to fill in before submitting their form, like their name, their email, or their phone number, then we can make those fields required. Now the next option is sublabels. You must know that this option is not will not be available in other questions, like in date this will not be available or some other options, but in some questions this field is available where we have multiple fields, like in full name, in address, in phone number. In these kind of fields where we have more than one text boxes, as you can see there are two boxes, one for the first name and one for the second name. So in these kind of fields where we have more than one boxes, then we will be having the sublabels. So we can change what is a sublabel. It is the text which will appear right under the text box. So you can change that text. Right now it is last name, but if you want to display it as a surname instead of the last name, so as you can see the change is appearing here. The next tab is options. If the field you have chosen offer more than just two options, or you can use the validation over that, then those options will be appear in the options tab. Like if you want to validate your field or if you want to something extra, like in full name we already know we can use prefixes, like we can use suffixes or we can use a middle name. So if you only want to collect their first name and last name, then the default option is fine. But if you want to also collect their middle name, then we can enable this option. Or if you want to add a prefix, then we can also do that. If you want to use a suffix, we can also do that. But prefixes, as you can see, there are only prefixes such as Mr., Miss, Mrs., etc. So we can also use a drop down box for that, and we can separate each prefix option with a vertical line. So let's say Mr., Mrs., Miss, etc. So this way we will be able to add our prefixes. But it is not necessary. These options are optional. If you want to add it. If you don't, then don't. In the advanced option, we will have the more advanced features. Like in what is a placeholder? A placeholder is something that will appear inside the box, and as you can see in the date, there are YYMMNDD. What this means is you can enter your date in this format. So if you wanna show user something inside the box, we can also add their first name, last name. These things will appear inside the text box. The next option is read only. The read only option, you can turn it on if you don't want your user to change the value of a field. Like if it is a result or something like that and you just want user to display the result, then just make this field read only. The next option is hide field. If you want to display a specific field based on the user response, like if the user response is yes, then ABC field will be displayed. If the user response is no, then it will be hidden. So in that cases, we use the hide field option. It will not display on the form by default. So we have two options. One, we can either keep it hidden for the whole form, or the second option is we can show or hide this based on the user answers. The last option is field details. What are field details? This is the unique name assigned to each form field. Like if we want to pass our data from one form to another, or we want to show a previous field name in the next label of the question, then we use these names. So once you click on the field name, you will be able to see the unique name of the field. So how we can pre-populate form URL, this will be another video, but I will show you how you can use this in another label. Like all you have to do is just copy this name and then paste it inside the label of another field into braces, just like that. So this way the field name will be displayed. Now how you can preview your form, just click on the preview form button here and you will be able to preview the form in the current window, or if you want to preview the form in another window, we can also do that. Just click on this small arrow here and your form will be open in the other window, and once it is open in the separate window, you can click this button again and you will be back to your builder. So let's say if we enter a name and we enter a surname and then click on next, you will see the name is appeared right beside date. So this is how we can use the value entered in the previous field to address in the next field label. So this is how you can change the properties of different fields. Let's see, next is date. You will click on the properties and you will be able to see multiple options. So the tabs here are not fixed. It really depends on the field you are choosing to edit. So different fields have different options. So in date you can change the question text, you can add a description, you can move the title, you can make it required or not. And the next are the separators, like how you want your date to appear. Either it will be a dash or a slash, or it will be a dot to separate the year, date and month. Now the sublabel here is date, which is displayed right below the field. If you want to use it, use it. If you don't want to use it, then just simply left this field empty. The next option is Date format. You can choose any date format according to your location. The next is if you want to set a default value for the date, just choose the current option or custom option. You can choose when the week will start, and the all options are available here. Then days. The next is if you want to display date and time, like for an if you are making the form for an appointment booking, then you need the date and time of the appointment. So there are two options. You can either use the date and time as a separate field, or you can have date and time both in the single field. You can use 24-hour format, you can use AM/PM format, you can use current date and time, or whatever you like. The next is limits. In limit, we can set the age verification, like user will enter the this is for the date of birth. Like if the user is supposed to enter the date of birth, then it will automatically calculate the age and verify that if they are eligible to proceed our form further or not. Now there is an option to start and end date. Like we can add a start date and we can add a end date. Like if we want users to choose a specific value which relies only in this year, then we can specify a start date and end date, and user will be able to choose between those options. And if we want a specific date not to be chosen, we can enter that here, and the format is given right below. It will depend on the format you have chosen. Here, so what format you have chosen here, the same format will be applied here. So you can disable date ranges and you can disable specific custom dates. Now you can disable the post past dates. Like if the user is supposed to, as you know, the appointments will be only available for the future dates. The previous appointments are gone. So if you want to disable past dates, then do it. If don't, then don't. And if you don't want user to change this, you want to specify a date for a webinar or for something like that which cannot be changed, then simply you need to make this field read only. And what is hide field do, we have already discussed that. And then again there are field details. These are the specific names for a field which can be used to pre-populate either a new form, or we can use the previous field data to fill in the next field. So these are the properties which you can explore for different options. We will definitely be discussing some more options which are regularly used, but if there is any specific field property that you want to know about, do let us know in the comment, and we will let you know how to deal with that property. So that is all for now. Don't forget to like